conceived and held for the first time in April of 18. And the second edition took place of this conference was in Melbourne, Australia. That was November. This was exactly 3 years before. And after that, in that conference in Australia, our Indian delegation was led by Honorable Minister of State for Home, Mr. Nityanand Rai. And he had led the Indian delegation. And over there, India had offered to host this conference, the next third conference in India. And unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, that conference couldn't take place and in 2021. And so now we are here in November 22 when this conference is being held. And this is the third edition. It is choking of financial flows to terrorist outfits, terrorist organization, to terrorists is I think one of the most crucial ways of stopping terror and terror activities and terror acts across the world. And so this is a very important topic for India. In fact, I would like to mention here, Principal DG already mentioned that about 75 countries are participating. As of now, the updated figures that we have, 72 countries are coming from other foreign countries are participating. India would be the 73rd. And apart from that, there are 15 multilateral international organizations, including Interpol, FATF, and Europol, and all the connected multilateral organizations who are stakeholders in this terror financing and in the of the financial sector. So non-profit organizations, they'll also be joining us. So all told, it's 78 countries and multilateral organizations. So this conference is it's a 2-day conference, as has just been mentioned. The Honorable Prime Minister of India, he will be inaugurating the conference at the inaugural session. He'll be chairing and he'll be delivering the inaugural presidential address at the conference tomorrow at 9:30. After this inaugural address by the Honorable Prime Minister, we have this conference has been divided into 4 sessions on different topics. The first session on trends in terrorist financing is going to be chaired by the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister. He will be delivering his address in this. This is a very important topic, and he'll be chairing this session, and then he'll be delivering his address at this on this topic. This is tomorrow in the forenoon, 11 o'clock, 11:30 actually, and then 11 o'clock, and then in the afternoon we have another session on formal and informal ways of terror financing, which is going to be chaired by Minister of State for Finance, for Revenue. This is use of official and unofficial channels in financing of terrorism. So this is the second session, and the third. So this is tomorrow on the 18th, and on the 19th we have 2 more sessions. The session 3 of the conference is on emerging technologies and terrorist financing, and this session will be chaired by Minister of State for Home, Mr. Nityanand Rai ji, and this is 9:30 on the 19th. And this will talk of technologies. There's a lot of new technologies, new financing channels have come up since the last conference in 2019. And digital assets, cryptocurrencies, and all that. So that's a very, very crucial topic and subject. And then the fourth session, session 4 of the conference, which is about international cooperation, the need to strengthen international cooperation to tackle terrorism financing. So that session is being chaired by the Honorable External Affairs Minister at 19th afternoon. And the concluding session is going to be chaired by the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister again, and where he is going to be delivering his concluding address and talking about reviewing the proceedings of the conference, and then he'll be talking about the subject. That is 19th evening. All major countries are participating in this conference from all continents, and in fact this conference is fits in with two other conferences which took place recently, and followed by the United Nations Counter-Terrorism Committee meeting in Mumbai and in New Delhi, and this is the third in the series in that sense. So the topic of international terrorism and terrorism financing is very significant and crucial for India, and so that is the reason why there's so much focus being brought on this by the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Home Minister and the Cooperation Minister. And so this conference is being held as a result of the efforts. So thank you very much for joining us here, and
You're 69.
Sir, I'm Rahul from ET. My question is related to since this conference is taking place almost after a gap of 2 years. So in these 2 years, there have been two important developments. One in Afghanistan, Taliban taking over Afghanistan. The second has been recently delisting of Pakistan. So how much it is a challenge for India and Indian agencies, given the fact that large quantity of drugs have been seized on the rivers and on the border and the international border. So will you be taking this up in the upcoming conference?
It's as you know that it's almost about 73 countries and 15 multilateral organizations are participating, and it's a very wide range of topics are going to be covered. And as the structuring of the conference is such, where almost all countries are going to be getting an opportunity to speak. So almost all topics, whether it is drugs, or because all of these they eventually converge into, they have narco-terrorism cases we've seen in India, and in fact there are quite a few cases which the NIA is also investigating. There are other state police forces like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Punjab, etc., who are also investigating these cases of narco-terrorism, where proceeds of drugs are funneled into carrying out terrorist acts and activities. So pretty much I think it's a very wide-ranging conference. Of course, the focus of the conference is international terrorist financing, but a whole lot of these issues I'm sure will be discussed and addressed. All these issues will be addressed in this conference.
16.
Good evening, sir. Arunima from CNN News 18. Sir, kindly confirm if Pakistan and China have confirmed their participation, and if so, will it be a ministerial level delegation from these two countries?
Pakistan is not participating in this conference, and I think as so far China also, we don't have I think the confirmations which are still coming in, and I think I'll need to check on whether China is going to be participating in this. No, they're not participating in this conference.
67.
सर, मेरा नाम मनीष शुक्ला है, मैं जी न्यूज़ से हूँ। ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है सर, ऐसे समय हो रही है जब हम लगातार देख रहे हैं कि जो खालिस्तानी जो पंजाब में जो एलिमेंट्स हैं, उनको बाहर के देशों से फंडिंग हो रही है। ये कॉन्फ्रेंस भी इसी टॉपिक पर है। कश्मीर में भी हम देख रहे हैं कि लगातार जो टेररिस्ट ग्रुप हैं, भले एनआईए ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, लेकिन उन्होंने नए मीडियम ढूंढ लिए हैं फंडिंग के। क्या ये जो मुद्दा है, इस बारे में भी कोई बात होगी? और आप चूंकि पर्सनली देखते हैं कई केसेस को, ये कितना बड़ा कंसर्न है?
देखिए, ये कंसर्न है, बिल्कुल कंसर्न है। चाहे हम किसी भी थिएटर की बात करें, तो चाहे पंजाब की बात हो, कश्मीर की बात हो, तो इसीलिए टेररिस्ट फाइनेंसिंग जो है एक बहुत बड़ा अहम मुद्दा है, क्रिटिकल मुद्दा है। और इसके बारे में हमारी चर्चा होगी। इसके जो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स हैं जो फाइनेंसिंग के थे, चाहे हवाला था, दूसरी चीज़ें थी, और हमारे पास इन चीज़ों का एविडेंस भी है कि पैसा बाहर से आया, कोई MTSS चैनल से आया, कोई वेस्टर्न यूनियन से आया, मनीग्राम से आया, कुछ किसी के खाते में पैसा डाल दिया गया ताकि और वहाँ से पैसा उठा लिया गया। इसके प्रमाण मिले हैं। तफ्तीश जो केसेस की हुई है, NIA ने भी की है, दूसरे स्टेट पुलिस फोर्सेस ने भी की है। तो इन सब मुद्दों पे जो नए तरह के तरीके जो एजाज हो रहे हैं, हुए हैं, और प्लस जो ट्रेडिशनल चैनल्स हैं, कैश कोरियर हैं, क्राउड फंडिंग है, इन सभी नए तरीकों पे चर्चा होगी इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में।
13।
हेलो, मेरा नाम प्रशांत है, न्यूज़ 24 से। अभी जैसे कि आपने बताया कि अफगानिस्तान और पाकिस्तान पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं और चाइना अभी कंफर्मेशन नहीं है। हम इंडिया का कंसर्न इन्हीं दो कंट्री से सबसे ज़्यादा है, खासकर पाकिस्तान से, टेररिज्म रिलेटेड चीज़ों को लेके। उनके एब्सेंस में आपकी ये पूरी कॉन्फ्रेंस कितनी महत्वपूर्ण होगी, और जो लोग इस कंट्री में पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे, क्या पाकिस्तान को लेकर कोई विशेष चर्चा करने की योजना है आपका? जितने पाक ऑपरेटेड टेररिज्म इंडिया में हो रहे हैं सीमा पार से, उस पर लेकर कुछ?
देखिए, इसमें कोई विशेष देश के बारे में चर्चा कोई ऐसी कोई रखी नहीं गई है, लेकिन सब देश जो हैं उनके प्रतिनिधि जो आएंगे, करीब 20 से ऊपर इसमें मिनिस्टर्स पार्टिसिपेट कर रहे हैं। तो क्योंकि सबको मौका मिल रहा है, तो सभी जो भी इश्यूज़ हैं, ज्वलंत इश्यूज़ हैं, जहाँ से भी थ्रेट आ रही है, जहाँ से भी पैसा आ रहा है, जहाँ से भी खतरा है आतंकवाद का, सो उसके बारे में चर्चा बिल्कुल होगी और खुले उससे होगी। इस पे कोई लिमिटेशंस नहीं है, कोई भी देश कुछ भी कह सकता है, और सभी जो देश और मल्टीलैटरल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं 78 जो हैं, उनको पूरा बोलने का अधिकार है। और सब
सीधा प्रसारण आप देख रहे थे। NIA के DG दिनकर